Welcome to Mindfulness. We're here to share some meditation together. I'm going to guide us in 10 minutes mindfulness of the breath, followed by a few words about being kind to ourselves. Mindfulness is about being in the present moment and being here kindly. It helps to sit in a dignified posture that keeps us a little bit more alert. And remembering we can move if we need to. It's about being aware of the body, not engaging with the thoughts. It's quite normal to have thoughts that arise, but simply observing the thoughts are there and then coming back to the breath or to the body, just following the guidance as best you can. So when we're ready, listening to the birds around as well, we close our eyes for mindfulness of the breath. Coming into the moment through the physical sensations of sitting. And that means actually feeling our contact with the chair or the cushion. And exploring those physical sensations of touch, of warmth, of contact. And noticing if perhaps those physical feelings change as we observe them. And letting go into that support from underneath. Just the way we let go into the support of the present moment. And we might like to notice the feelings in our hands. The touch of where they're resting. The temperature. The places with sensations. The places without. So we can feel our body sitting. By connecting with the senses in this way, we come into the present moment. And then inviting our attention to the breath. Breathing naturally. We notice the physical feelings generated by this movement. being the kindly observer, coming back when the thoughts wander. We notice perhaps the tummy expanding and flattening. We notice perhaps the rib cage rising and falling. And how do we know these movements are taking place? We can feel them through the skin moving against our clothes, or the slight stretch in the muscles. And we might feel the air passing in the nose and throat, because it's cooler on the inhalation and warmer on the exhalation. And connecting carefully with the senses, being interested, being curious, and being kind and gentle with ourselves when we lose focus and drift off in a story. We simply notice where we have gone and congratulate ourselves in coming back to the breath and to the moment. Following each breath as closely as we can. Aware perhaps of the flow of the pauses. Picking up the detail and softening into a practice full of friendliness and self-compassion. Just noticing if the judging mind comes in and deciding to come back kindly. To this breath and this one. Infusing our practice with friendliness and noticing if the criticisms slip in. Just being here and paying attention and noticing is all that is necessary for this to be a mindfulness practice. We don't have to calm the mind or feel relaxed. Our job is to observe and to set judgments aside. And just a few more breaths in mindful awareness. Perhaps noticing where for you the breath is most apparent. And taking this with you out into your day. And when we're ready, opening our eyes. Well done. Usually, yeah, there it is. Ooh. A yawn and a stretch comes all by itself. So this week in one of the groups we were talking about how people perceive their boss at work, and there was a mindfulness group training happening in a corporate setup, and people were saying that they really appreciated it if the boss said hello in the morning, and even hello, how are you, rather than just walking in, hanging up their coat and going into their office. And so we explored what else we appreciate in a boss, and it seemed that control was appreciated if it wasn't restricting, and being interested, that was very encouraging for people. Perfectionism was definitely seen as an energy drainer, and giving responsibility, that was something seen as a positive quality in a boss. And what else? Yes, was criticism important? And people felt that it was obvious that if something was wrong, it had to be pointed out, but not in a blaming way. So then we took this a bit further, and people thought, oh yes, well, this is how to be a good boss. You know, I must have those qualities if I'm looking after other people on my team. But then it became apparent that we need those qualities to turn towards ourselves as well, when we're our own boss, when we're meditating, and when we're in our lives. And there was a big realization, like, oh, well, I'm really critical and I push myself harder, and I don't say hello, how are you? I say, come on, get on. And maybe I don't give myself time off, and I don't give myself appreciation and encouragement. And so let's adopt those qualities that we would really appreciate in an efficient and caring and boundaried boss, supervisor. Let's embrace those in our own work and our own attitude towards ourselves during our meditation and elsewhere. And so, what's really interesting with meditating is that we have that opportunity to observe. It's like a laboratory, a mini experiment each time we meditate. What do we notice? And when that critical voice comes in and tells us that we're getting it wrong, or when we're being perfectionistic with ourselves and criticizing for perhaps the mind wandering too much, what are we doing, and is this really the best way to be flourishing and encouraging ourselves? So this week I invite you to practice regularly. Formal practice is very important. Be a kind and boundaried boss. Don't let yourself get away with murder, but still be understanding and interested. And notice during your day as well. So checking in with ourselves in a mindful way helps us to know what's happening in each moment, and gradually we're living a mindful life, not just when we're on our cushion, but when we're out and about. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you again soon for another mindfulness meditation, and keep up the practice. Bye bye for now.